needing some more personnel, you know, as replacements. And I kept pleading that I'd be a replacement. So they sent me to a replacement depot at Southampton, England. And I waited to go into the combat area, you might say. Even though I was limited service, they still took me. And I boarded a ship on December the 24th, on Christmas Eve, to go on a ship they called it the Leopoldville, which was a Belgian troop ship. And we walked quite a bit with our full pack all the way down to the docks. And then we got on board ship. I was on board ship probably for about an hour, and they took us off the ship. There was a lot of commotion between the Belgian sailors and also the British sailors that were on board. And we got back to camp, encampment I should say. And so we thought the reason we came back was because of the being Christmas Day tomorrow, and then the following day, that we'd be relieved to go on into a combat area immediately. So, but about 4 hours later, they told us to pack up our gear again and head back to the docks. Well, we went back to the docks, and I boarded a Polish ship called the John Sobieski. And this John Sobieski ship took us to Le Havre, France, which is a seaport on the northern side of France, across the channel. But when we got near there, of course, there were a lot of ships that were sunk all around there. And we had to take a landing craft and finally made it across the shore. And once we got across the shore, then we were fed there, and then we slept underneath some of the viaducts there that they had that were still intact. We just kind of rested for a short while, and then all of a sudden they told us to get our gear together and we're going to leave. So we got into open trucks, and we were heading towards Belgium. And we were informed that we were going to go into an area which was surrounded by the Germans at Bastogne, Belgium. The trek that we took, there was very little leadership among the personnel that we had. We didn't know where in the heck we were going. We went to Nancy, France. We went to Verdun. We went to Metz, Epinal, and a few other places. And finally crossed the area there and got into the area of Belgium. And we were informed that we were going to an airborne out. On the way going there, it was horrendous, actually. We had a lot of people had frozen feet. I had a touch of it myself. I had no winter equipment whatsoever, no earmuffs or nothing. Open truck, as I said. It was cold. Your hands are practically frozen. You couldn't hardly do anything. Believe it or not, one of the things that helped us more than anything else, believe it or not, is we had lifesavers. It sounds kind of funny, but it isn't. But it sure helped. We were able to get some from a little PX that came, that accompanied us. We had some auxiliary groups that were out there assisting the troops that was going. And we weren't all airborne, actually. We had other personnel. And we went through the Battle of the Bulge there. And then we got to one spot where, I don't know if you heard of the Malmedy massacre. We had a lot of medics that were killed by the Germans, and the reason for it, we had on our helmets, we had a white cross, red crosses, and it was just an easy target in snow background. and the Germans would hit that target and kill them. We went to a place near Cologne, and at this particular spot, we were involved in taking care of a certain area which was a motor pool, and I was told to take off my Red Cross band and start in on patrolling this one particular area. Myself and also a paratrooper that had a submachine gun. They gave me a folding stock carbine, and I knew nothing about guns, nothing about guns. I never carried a gun, I never shot it. But anyway, then one day I found, while we were patrolling the area there, saw some young German youngsters piling up wood across this one creek. Then as they were piling it up, I thought it was getting pretty tall, and I warned this paratrooper. I said, "There's something fishy going on here," and sure enough, he said, "I will fix that situation." He says, "When I come back," he says, "I'll fix it very promptly." And he came out and he gave a burst of machine gun fire in the air, and all of a sudden we heard shutters and everything else slamming nearby. And the infantry, the people the paratroopers came down there, wanted to know what was going on. We told them, and they arrested quite a few of the so-called civilians, which were German soldiers.